Okay, we're back at the stump and brought my measuring tape. It is about a 33-inch diameter stump. And now that we get a closer look, we see what happens. Let's look at the face and back cut. So face cut was almost halfway through. So, ouch. Not the end of the world though. Back cut, slightly sloped down, which is, not a good sign. But the real issue, of course, is the hinge wood. This is the south side, or excuse me, the north side. This is the south side. This is the west where the face cut came out, which is where they want to send it. So the hinge wood should extend over to here. Because they only had a 16 or 20-inch bar, they could only come through this far. Well, let's see exactly what that is. Okay, we can see the marks from the saw blade, and it was a 20-inch bar. So the expert guy, he came in and he started, I think he made this whole cut, or he made most of it. And then, he understood that this part over here, which was still in place on the south side, was holding the tree up. So, okay. So then, for some reason, expert guy went into the van and left, never cut a tree guy to finish it, which is, of course, the most dangerous part and takes the most skill, especially when you're doing these two-step back cuts. So, expert guy starts the cut at the same slope, but what the inexperienced guy, he doesn't know to keep, he probably doesn't even know how to keep the saw level or on this slight down slope. So he's letting gravity work its magic. And let's go over here. And you see his back cut slowly starts to go downward. And at the same time, he's also stepping around the tree to the front. So and as I kind of was figuring, he didn't know to stop at the hinge wood, probably didn't know what hinge wood was, and just slowly crept down here until he cut all the way through the hinge wood. The tree didn't actually set backwards, it set to the side on his saw, to the south on his saw. So now the bar is holding up the tree. It's acting as a wedge, stopping it from coming over. But he was also pulling the saw outward. So you see, he started up in here, but then slowly he was pulling the saw outward. So less and less saw was actually inside the tree. So at the end, he only had about 12 inches of bar inside the tree. And at the very end, I don't think he had but 6 or 8. He was all the way out here. So yeah, totally acting as a wedge. Yeah, he was down in here. He was now below the face cut. So he starts wiggling the saw back and forth, the only thing holding up the tree from falling over on top of him. And maybe the van wiggled it enough to get the saw out, but as soon as the saw started to get out, that's when... It's kind of interesting that because he was below the face cut, this little bit of wood might have been holding the tree from slipping down the face cut, but eventually that gave way and it did slip down the face cut. Turned slightly, didn't spin much. And luckily for the inexperienced guy, he knew, well, because it went on that side of the stump, he was protected and he could just walk away this way. And so lucky that this Widowmaker did not clock him, because that came down right where his head was. And very few branches actually fell off. So that's impressive. Another kind of cool thing, another plus is this side branch, which was facing southeast. If that tree had spun a little bit, and boy, that face cut, if it had been tilted anymore, it probably would have. That all the way to the tree would have been just on that one limb, and likely really taken out the corner of this house. And this house is a beautiful house. It's got the stonework, which is just, I love it. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the house took the hit like a champ. Now the roof, yeah, roof roof's gone. But roof's old, so you get a new roof out of the deal. I took a peek through the window. The realtor was here, so I could look around a little bit, and the inside of this house, apparently it looks like it's made with brick, and then this stone is on the outside, and you can see just barely in the corner here where it knocked off plaster or stucco that was over the brick that is the structure of the house, and cracked some of the masonry. A little bit of cracking up there, but that's not bad. But unfortunately, the ceiling is pushed in. You know, I don't know. When the building inspectors come out here, I don't know how far they're going to make them tear out that kitchen to repair this damage. If the homeowner gets lucky, she can just replace the roof and call it a day, because the masonry structure is going to hold it up. I mean, it's an old house. Hopefully everything will be okay, and apparently the owner is experienced with construction and things, so she's not going to be freaking out. And well, it's not as bad as it looks. It really isn't. You know, I would say $10,000-$15,000 worth of damage, and it would have cost. Well, okay, here's the kind of the rub. I was gonna say, well, it would have cost $5, $6, $7, $8,000, maybe $10,000 to have that tree taken down properly. Oh, check out this. This is the expert guy's ladder. Kind of bent. Good scrap though. So originally it would have taken $5,000-$10,000 to have this tree taken down, and I was like, well, the homeowner saved that. Well, not really, because now it's even more expensive to take it down a tree that is in this type of shape, because the tree trimmer, it's now very dangerous. They have to really be careful about what they cut where for that moving. So it got more expensive. Oh, it's okay.